computer. Right now we're just trying to reset the BIOS settings. Sorry that. Here we have the Monorail model 7245 all-in-one. This was from like 1996 or something. It's one of those industrial grade chassis, but it's actually a consumer computer. But here we have a Monorail model 7245. It's from like 1997, 1996-ish. Basically your 90s version of an iMac G5 if you think about it, except that it runs Windows. It has an AMD processor. Okay. It shows us a 5K 75 inside. But, you know, here's your floppy drive. Here's your opticals. Here's the Monorail model 7245 all-in-one computer. You can see right here I just had to finish adjusting the settings. Sorry that the monitor isn't the greatest viewing angle because it's a passive matrix LCD. Here we have the Monorail model 7245 all-in-one from 1996. Model 7245. Then as you can see, I'm in the BIOS because unfortunately the BIOS, the CMOS battery is dead, so I have to replace that battery. It actually had some problems where one of the speakers wasn't working. It took me a little bit to fix it, but here we go. Let's boot up Windows on this puppy. Sorry, the viewing angle is shit. Takes a little bit. It only has a 5400 RPM hard drive. I put in a Quantum hard drive. I think it's a Fireball. And it does have 48 megabytes of RAM, which is surprising. Here we go. Mouse is working now. I had to restore this for this model for a while, so it was pretty easy to restore this back to how it was. And you can see it's a photo of the stock exchange trading floor, how it was maybe like in the early 90s or something, because you can see the old style terminals before they went to, you know, LCDs. You can see right here, authentic AMD, 48 megabytes of RAM. And unfortunately this speaker's kind of dying out, but this one's okay. But I do intend to replace the speakers with something better sounding, because it sounds like a cheap laptop. I mean, it is a sub 1000 desktop for its day, only $999. They put some games here, which is what I primarily have it for. We'll do little DOS games. Let me get this out of here. And then you got your typical apps. Let's see what else I have here. I did put a Doom 2, but it's gonna be a little hard to see because of the poor viewing angle on this passive matrix LCD. Let's see if I could find. I also have Wolfenstein if I really wanted to do that too. Alright, we got to Doom 2. It's gonna be hard to play with only one hand free. Let me see if I can let this stand on its own. There we go. Alright, need to stand it up. Alright, hurt me plenty. That sounds so macabre. Oh wow. It plays Doom really nicely. Alright. Let me word of advice, passive matrix LCDs are not the best for gaming like this. Alright. So what's in here? Which corner was it? It had some... Oh man. Which corner was it they had the extra stock? I think it was here? Or was it the next level? That would have a little armor. It's kind of hard to see with this LCD, as I said. Let's see what's in here. I'll avoid getting hit like this. Oh shit! It's really hard to see. It's really, really hard to see. But at least I tried. But you can see it does MS-DOS games just fine. Let me get this shit out of here. Let's see what else. I could do some. Let's see what else I could put in here. You can put some games in here too. And it has video playback support, obviously, with the video for Windows codec. This is actually straight out of the Windows 95 CD. Like I said, it's not the best speakers out there. Let's see what else we got here. I think I got yeah, I think I did install Comics Zone. Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, it wants me to have the CD installed. Let me go back. Oh yeah, I gotta put the CD. Oh, I see what it wants. So I do have the Sonic, the Hedgehog CD. You probably remember they called me Sonic when that thing was kind of mean or something like that. Well, here it is. I'll show you the CD function of this puppy. It's on the side. Let me get this strap out of here. Put the CD in here. Just like that, works like a charm. So show you that you can do a little multimedia. Sorry for the, once again, the shitty screen viewing angle. Let me see if I can improve it a little bit. There we go. Let's do it. Let's see if I get the video to play. Well, that's enough multimedia. Let's see. And then did your monorail home station, like your startup stuff. Let's see now. Key shortcuts. If you're like new to this stuff. You know. It's a little brief tour on this thing. Here we have a monorail computer from 1996. This is a model 7245. Damn it. Here we have a monorail model 7245 all-in-one computer from 1996. It's made by Monorail and it was designed as a sub 1000 computer targeted towards new computer users. And this one right here actually has a 5K 86 processor with a P75 rating, so it's supposed to be the equivalent of a 75 megahertz Pentium. It has a standard socket 7 compatible motherboard, and it does have a single ISA slot, presumably for the network card, but I do intend to put in a PCMCIA slot adapter so I could hook up other peripherals. Too bad it didn't have a PCI slot, or would have tried putting a USB controller on it to make it easier to transfer games and stuff. At the side is your CD drive, quad speed by Mitsumi. Same thing with the floppy, made by Mitsumi. It's gonna be a little hard to show the I/O. Here you have your PS2 ports, your serial, your printer port, which is a parallel joystick and MIDI, your mic input, line out, which is headphone out, and this is aux. And there's your VGA and your reset button in case things went awry. Here we have a Monorail model 7245 all-in-one computer from 1996. This one has a AMD 5K86 P75, which is supposed to be the equivalent of a 75 megahertz Pentium. And this one also has 48 megabytes of RAM, which is surprising. And this one has a 1 gigabyte Quantum Fireball hard drive, which I actually had to put in there because there was no hard drive on this. Unfortunately, the CMOS battery was slow, so I have to, redo the settings every time I unplug it and plug it back in. It also has a quad speed CD-ROM drive, which is right here by Mitsumi. This one has your built-in modem and your floppy drive, and there's an expansion slot for ISA cards, but only the Ethernet card actually fit in there due to its compressed nature. The motherboard is a standard socket 7 in its special form factor, and it does have a PC chips graphics, and it does have an AMI BIOS, American Megatrends, PS2 serial parallel, which is labeled printer, joystick and MIDI, your mic, audio out and audio in, VGA and your reset button, and your hard power switch. So say something went awry, you could at least do a hard, reset instead of a soft reset. There's your power button, soft power. There's your volume and contrast controls. set this here so you can see a little better. So this is just a 640 by 480 LCD panel, passive matrix. That's a native resolution. If you try any larger resolution, it will try to downscale it. And it has some cheap Samsung 1-watt speakers at 8 ohms. Unfortunately, they're pretty much shot. That's why they sound kind of messed up. You can see that here. I have a couple of games. Although unfortunately, because of the panel, it's kind of hard to see in the dark because of this broad daylight. That's one of the limitations about passive matrix panels. It doesn't take too long to boot, surprisingly, compared to my former Windows 98 gaming rig, which unfortunately recently died out and had a motherboard failure. Nothing I could really do to save it, so... Oh shit. I don't know what does this. Yeah, sometimes my little stabilization device likes to act up. So there we go. I have a couple of games like the infamous Chips Challenge. This is the Windows version. You can actually buy it on Steam now for pretty cheap. That and Chips Challenge 2. Pretty sure I had this set to ignore passwords. There we go. It has your general MIDI controller. You know, nothing too special. I think this has an ESS audio drive for the sound. I have to double check because I do have a Crystal Lab sound card in my Magnavox, which is running Windows 3.1 and MS-DOS 5 respectively. Let's do graphics. Let's do a little mouse game. Something like Jazz Ball. Unfortunately, darker images don't really sit too well when you're trying to do a little DOS gaming in daylight like this. There we go, 89%. And now, for some DOS games, like everybody's favorite Doom 2. Well, I don't have the Doom 1, but let's do a little Doom. I also have Wolfenstein, which works great as well. Yeah, that's the limitation about playing in daylight on a passive matrix LCD. This problem. Did I ever load this game? No, I don't think I ever loaded it. I'm so not used to playing with the arrow keys. I think the hard part about this is the dark because of the... Especially when you have the enemies in the dark room, it's kind of harder to, you know, shoot them. Let's go here. And increasing the contrast can only do so much, but still Kind of makes games like this a little harder to play. That's why, you know. Let me go find here. Oh man, I just realized I got the wrong switch. Let's see if I could. This is the hard part. Can I get him? There's a secret area, but I had to get up the other switch so I could do the, you know, the armor thing. There you have it. First level of Doom 2. Yeah, let me get out of here. You can see media support is okay. Then you have, that's what else I got here. We got Wolfenstein to run here. There we go. Yeah, I screwed that up. I was not ready for that one. Let me try this again. Yeah, you're gonna stay on the floor. So, you know, that was pretty decent for DOS games. Yeah. Chickening out already, that's a good one. Okay, let's show you a little CD player playback. Let me see if I can get CD player. The right speaker is messed up. That's why it sounds kind of like it's dying out. Let me load some app from the arcade disc. So let's see what I got here. This is interactive software that came for this CD. As you know, the CD responsible for the They Call Me Sonic. That one. Let's see. CD playback performance. Yeah. already have Windows set up. Let me exit this shit. So here's some video playback. Just like this computer, this CD came out in 1996. And it does the contrast a bit. Okay, all this shit really does is oversaturate your screen. Here's the built-in CD player thing. Makes it just for demonstration. It's supposed to be to make it easy for... It sounds a lot better with external speakers. So I do intend to replace these two speakers. Like I said, this one's shot, so I may as well replace both of them with some higher fidelity speakers of the same size. We have Samsung 4-ohm 45mm speakers, 1 watt. Alright, let's get that out of here. Let's see what else I could do here. Yeah, let's go to my computer. So back in the day, you had Intel processors. So on this string, it would say genuine Intel, but because this one is an AMD processor, it says authentic AMD instead. And you can see 48 megabytes of RAM. For Cyrix processors, it would say Cyrix instead, and so on. I'm not sure what IDT WinChip would say, but you know. That's a whole lot of can of worms right there that I'm opening up. So I got other shit. You got like Netscape over here. Soft stuff, which is where I have this wallpaper from. And you know, that's all there is to it. Let's shut this puppy down. It does support ACPI power off. Instead of having to, you know, do the "it is safe to shut down your computer" thing.